Let's bring you into the game with me. There we go. Everything looking okay. Everything looks like it should. So I think we're good to go. Hello everybody, I'm El Bristow, this is Ellitopia Gaming. Welcome back to KSP Live. Last week we had a relatively interesting stream. I suppose that's a matter of opinion really, but we put a space station in orbit. The very first ESS stage, which is our science lab, our research station, and we have this polar satellite in orbit, which is able to do some scanning and things, but we haven't actually done any actual scans of the planet as yet, or of any planet, in fact, as yet. What's that? That's a satellite contract being offered, I believe, isn't it? Anything else interesting going on? No? Okay. We've got... Oh, look. We're being offered, once again, a contract to go to the South Pole, by the looks of things. I wonder if we'll try that today. Let's have a look, see what that contract's offering. Yeah, this week I'm going to hopefully just have a look and see if we've got any contracts that kind of fit in with where we are at the moment. Conduct orbital survey, position satellite, conduct atmospheric survey of Kerbin near Bobax bump. On the surface, Bobax bump. Not a very well paying contract, that one actually. But we can probably do that relatively cheaply. Build an orbital station around the moon. Station in orbit, has an antenna, docking port, and can generate power. Facility for supporting at least 5 Kerbals. That one's a bit trickier. Maintain stability for 10 seconds, okay. Orbital survey of Minmus. We haven't been to Minmus yet, actually. So that might be a good idea. Return or transmit data from at least 2 of the following experiments. Orbital telescope observations, material study data from low orbit, or solar particle analysis from low orbit. We could go to Minmus, couldn't we? Anything else being offered for Minmus? Orbital survey of Minmus. Telescope. That's 2 orbital surveys, okay. High orbit, low orbit. We could definitely do a kill 2 birds with 1 stone on that, actually, couldn't we? And position a satellite in synchronous orbit of Minmus. Okay. Reach the designated synchronous orbit of Minmus with marginal deviation. Thermometer and a materials bay. I think we could probably do some of these, couldn't we? We have no contracts on the go, so if we take the 2 orbital surveys and the synchronous satellite around Minmus, we've got orbit Minmus there as well. Yeah, there's a lot of Minmus going on here. So, orbit Minmus is probably the easiest for us to do, so we'll accept that. Then we'll go for orbital survey and the other orbital survey. And why not? We'll take the synchronous orbit one as well. 4 contracts. We're going to try 4 contracts at once. I don't think we've quite done that before, ever, in KSP Live. All of these apply to Minmus. All of them are from orbit. We don't actually have to land to do any of these. High orbit, low orbit, high orbit, blah, 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 blah. We're going to have to take quite a lot of stuff with us. But I think we can do this. I think we can do all 4 of these contracts at once. Generally, if we can get these things to the moon, we can get them to Minmus as well. I think we'll be okay. We're going to do it unmanned because it's got to be an unmanned satellite that reaches the other end. Most space agencies seem to think that starting with the manned missions is the way to go. Now, it doesn't have SAS, does it, that one? Oh, it does. And it can do a probe report. What kind of torque has it got? 3. requires electric charge of 3. So compare that to that. Requires electric charge of 1.2 but only has 0.3 torque. So that's pretty hefty actually. You compare it to that or that. That's pretty hefty. Gonna need some major batteryage and solar panels and things on that, but that's nice. That's a nice little probe core. So, oh look, that's the pod shroud for if we wanted to put a load of stuff underneath that, which we could do. Battery was what I was after. There we go. We're going to have to scale that up. There we go, but that's plenty of battery now. 1,600. We still haven't unlocked the unfolding solar panels, have we? Which is perhaps an error. We'll have plenty of solar panels on this one. Okay, so we need a materials bay. I think we're probably going to need a mystery goo or something like that. Let's have a look. Orbital survey. So we need a telescope, materials bay, and or solar particle. Telescope's quite easy to do. This one needs telescope, multispectral. Hold on. From at least 3 of the following. So it needs a telescope, magnetometer, and mystery goo, I think is how we're going to do that. So let's have a... what am I looking for? The not docking bay. Service module is what I meant. I suppose we could do it in a... we could do it in an actual docking bay, but these kind of make more sense at this point. So let's open that. Oh, bash everything as I try to zoom in. So we can fit a telescope in there. Ooh, preferably only one. Preferably the right way round. I'll tell you what, can we do it up there? Yeah. There we go. That just about fits in there. Pointing outwards nicely. And then behind it we can go for a mystery goo, I think. That'll fit in there, will it? Let's hang it from the top as well. They don't actually collide or anything, do they? Nope. Okay. Going to need an antenna. This doesn't have an antenna built in, I don't think. No. So let's put... no, let's not use that one. Let's use one of these ones. Put it on the back of here. There we go. That's the multispectral imaging system. We could take that as well. We've got mystery goo, magnetometer. We haven't taken a magnetometer. What's going to be better, magnetometer or multispectral imaging? Magnetometer we've probably already done, haven't we? Oh no, not around Minmus we haven't. We haven't done anything around Minmus. Really we could do with taking everything with us, but that's just impractical. How about we take the multispectral imaging platform and we'll put it on there like that, like a mouth. Nice looking mouth. Yeah. There we go. Excuse me. Still trying to get rid of that cough. So we've got the probe core, we've got multispectral imaging, we've got mystery goo, we've got a materials bay, we've got a telescope. Mystery goo, multispectral, telescope, materials bay. So the only way that we could improve on that would be a magnetometer as well. But I think we can do without the magnetometer on this mission. That's just going to be added weight. So let's close that. And there we go. That is our probe. Or at least the functionality of our probe sorted. We shall give it, let's see, it's going to need fuel. It's going to need to manoeuvre a fair bit. Let's give it one of these fuel tanks and one of these engines. There we go. So that's quite a lot of Delta V actually, isn't it? I wonder if we should go with a smaller fuel tank on that. Maybe we should. Let's go with one of those. Because it doesn't really need to move around that much. Let's stick some more solar panels on that. Could really do with some RCS as well, but that's just more weight, isn't it? No, I'm thinking actually we will go with... Let's put those there for the moment. We will go with the slightly larger fuel tank because I don't really want to run out. So let's go with that. Something like that. So that's our actual probe. 2,589 meters a second of Delta V there. Let's move this up because we're going to need a launch stage underneath this. Let's go for a stack decoupler. And then plenty of fuel. Let's see, actually. Let's go with one like that. That's the half jumbo. See, we still haven't unlocked the... We've only got the skipper, which there is perfectly sufficient, but as soon as we start adding fuel to it, it starts to struggle a bit. What am I looking at? Fuel tanks. So if we go for the half jumbo there, thrust weight of 2.35, so that's still okay. If we go for it there, 1.44, okay. But then actually we don't even need that much, do we? So if I went for one more of those, 1.03, which, providing the outer stages are sufficient, that would be fine for the transfer and orbit stages. Yeah, that's doable. Okay, so let's add some things to the side of these. Ooh, not that many though. Let's go for 2 there. Now, what do we want? I'll tell you what. Should we go for some proper asparagus staging this time? Let's go for... Oops. No, that's overkill, isn't it? We don't need that much, right? And that's overkill for those engines. So, for those fuel tanks rather. So let's go back to the standard one. No, not that one. Hang on. Where's it gone? This one. In fact, no. We'll use that one. There we go. Fuel tanks. We'll go for a couple of these with these guys on them. 0.52, eh? Same here. 1.46, that's good. So then we'll go for dropping that, and then dropping that. So that means fuel tanks, fuel ducts. So we need to go from here all the way over to that one. And then from this one into the middle. There we go. 6,000 meters a second. before we access the probe. That's good. That's quite good. Some nose cones on these. In fact, yeah, let's use the even more aerodynamic nose cones. There we go. And then struts and the other thing, parachutes. That's the one. Plenty of struts. There we go. And as I zoom in, I keep bashing my keyboard. There we go. Something like that. Something like that. A bit wonky, but never mind. Something like that. And something like that. Yeah, very wonky, but never mind, they look okay. Now, is this going to be wobbly on the top? It probably is. Hey there. Oh, Johan. Oh, was that a Paju or Pahu? Paju? Johan Paju, I'm going to guess at. If I've got that horribly wrong, I do apologise. But let's get some more struts in here. Go, holding things a bit steadier. In fact, we probably could do with some coming from here to up here, just to stabilise things a little bit more. There we go, so that things are nice and steady. Yeah, not looking too bad. Okay, so let's put some parachutes. Some of these guys. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, I think. Oops. Because we made the mistake last week of not having enough parachutes. And then every time we dropped everything off, it all went bang. So we're not going to make that mistake again. This one is not going to need parachutes. It's not going to be coming back. We'll put some parachutes on here just in case, although I have no intention of bringing the actual probe home. But there we go. So let's not stage all the parachutes with the launch stage. That's probably not a good idea. What we will do is we'll add some launch stabilizers in here. 4 of those, like so. Move this down. Oh, that was the wrong button. There we go. Move this down to about there. In fact, we can afford to move these up because there's nothing in their way. There we go. Looking good. So these do need to be down here in this stage with the actual rockets. Now, when these stages drop off, we need, let's see, not those, not those. That parachute is in very much the wrong position. Oops. Come on. Parachute. There we go. Radial mount parachute. There we go. That's better. Did it the other side as well. Good. Yep. Right. Where was I? So we want... Right. That's one of the ones we want. That's one of the ones we want. And that's the other one of the ones that we want. And then when these fire, we want that one. That one. And that one. And that one. Okay. So all those parachutes are in the right places now. That will go. that will fire separately. Those two parachutes will hopefully never need to fire, but if they do, they will fire separately. Let's tweak these. Let's put them at min pressure 55 so they don't go bang when we dump them off. 55. 55. 55. 55. And 55. And just in case for some reason we have no power when we return, we'll put those on 55 as well. We've got plenty of solar panels. We don't really have much. See, that's got a fair amount of torque in it. So we'll put a stabilizer in there just to give us a tiny bit extra, and that now has put those struts right over our solar panels, which is not ideal. There we go. Everything else should be pretty much okay. Yep, all looking good. Gonna need a name for this. So that's over to you guys in the chat to suggest some names. This is an unmanned probe going to Minmus. And I'll give you a few moments to come up with a name for this one. When will the next Software Inc. be? That's a very good question. I did say I've kind of neglected the YouTube channel a little bit over the last few weeks because I've had various different things going on. But hopefully soon I'll be able to get back on top of that. So soon is my answer. How soon? I'm not 100% sure at this point, but soon, yes. I will be back on top of that particular series. No name suggestions coming in just yet. Well, I think we're a little bit quiet in the chat this week. Maybe people are still recovering from the various different celebrations of the last weeks. Or indeed they're doing something far more interesting or productive. The Mighty Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse as in the Disney character. The Mighty Minnie Mouse. The MMMM. Well, why not? Why not? Let's go with it. There we go. The Mighty Minnie Mouse going to Minimus. Minimus. There we go. We're going to save it. And we are going to take it out to the launch pad and see if it blows up in a ball of fire, which is probably the most likely outcome. Now, I haven't actually looked at where we're supposed to... Oh no, we haven't got any specific place to do the orbital surveys, have we? We can actually just do them anywhere, which is good. Ooh, nice and stable, not wobbly at all. So, here we are on the launch pad with the Mighty Minnie Mouse going to the Mighty Minimus. Minmus. The mint ice cream moon of Kerbin. Unmanned probe, hopefully going to complete 4 contracts at the same time. 2 orbital survey contracts, the Orbit Minmus contract, and position a satellite in a synchronous orbit of Minmus. So let's go and have a quick look at what that synchronous orbit is. Let's focus view over there. And oh, that's not too bad. That's not a bad one. We can deal with that. So let's get back to the launch pad. And let's get our SAS on. Let's get our throttle to 100%. Let's ignore the steam pop-ups that are coming up on my display here. Let's hide that. Let's bring that one up. There we go. And we are ready to launch in 3, 2, 1, go. We are away. Oh, not a bad speed as well. Yeah, that thrust to weight was just about right for this launch. Let's let this rise for a short while. Build up a little bit of speed, and then we will start our turn. There is 75 meters a second, coming up on 1,000 meters. There it is. There's 100 meters a second, and we're coming up on 1,500 meters. Let's very slowly and gingerly start our turn as those engines die off and the parachutes pop. There we go. Now, I've just realised I didn't put any wings on this, so let's hope that this thing doesn't try and do somersaults on us, because that would be, well, just about par for the course. That's what all our craft tend to try and do. So we're going to have to take this turn very gently. So that we are remaining as aerodynamic as possible throughout this launch. I'm going to slow the engines down a little bit so that our prograde marker drops down the ball a little bit quicker. Very gingerly turn. Okay, thrust going up a bit now. Ooh, come on, down you come, down you come. Coming up on 10,000 meters. Oh, those engines have gone. There they go. Making sure we're on 100% thrust now, which we are. Only just about speeding up though, which is not great. ...250 meters a second. We're a little bit on the slow side, and now our prograde marker is dropping quite quickly, and the atmosphere is trying to push us vertical, or actually it's trying to push us into a spin, but it's definitely trying to keep us on the planet. Let's see if we can. No. There it goes. Okay, let's go on for a spin. So let's see if we can get it to go all the way around. No. Okay. Come on. Come on, recover. Ooh, not that way. Okay, this is not great. This is most likely a failed launch. Yeah, we are going down now, so wings are something we should have brought with us. Okay, so abort plan. It's hopefully going to naturally glide to retrograde. We've managed to recover those stages that we dumped off, which is good. So let's slow us down, because we can, because we've got lots of fuel. parachutes are now safe to deploy, which we shall do. And they haven't done anything because we set them to 0.55 atmos before they would deploy, so we need to come down a bit further first. Let's see if we can actually land this huge beast gently in the water. Parachutes should be popping about now. There we go. Which will help to slow us down. And they will fully deploy at about 1,000 meters. There they go. And we are now coming down for a kind of a landing. Well, a splashdown at least. 21 meters a second is too fast for an actual landing, but we have got the fuel to slow us down, which is good. So let's let it drop for a little while. Look at that. That's probably the most successful failure we've ever had. Any reports we can get from here? Hey, look at that. We can get a probe report. Let's keep that. Materials bay from here? Yes, keep that. Look at that. Free science. This doesn't work, I don't think, while you're landed. Yeah. Let's open that one. Oh yeah, we would have already had the mystery goo from here. 0.2 science. Why not? Let's open the camera shutter. Let's see. I don't think we're going to get anything from here. Nope. Okay. So, as I say, a surprisingly successful failure. So we're going to recover that. We'll stick some wings on that and then we'll try again. $39.2 science, not too bad, and we've still got 638,000 funds at our disposal. I think we recovered kind of most of what we spent. Obviously we've wasted on fuel, but we didn't do too bad there. Okay, so for wings we are going to have to move these down, aren't we? I wondered why it was so easy for us to put those right up high. Because the wings need to go on here, so we'll use the R8s like we normally do. Ooh. And we'll scale them up. There we go. Ooh, that's iffy. Let's move those. Whoop. No. Hold on. Undo. There we go. Move those down. Move those down. Hold on. Why have they gone small again? Let's make them bigger. There we go. Just clearing the Stability enhancers. There we go. Some nice wings to help us control this during that stage. So this is the Mighty Minnie Mouse 2, and we're going to save that and take that out to the launch pad instead. Okay, here we are back on the launch pad with the Mighty Minnie Mouse 2, complete with wings. Hopefully this one won't be doing atmospheric acrobatics, atmospheric aerobatics. Yeah, something like that. SAS is going on, throttle is going to 100%, and we're ready to launch in 3, 2, 1, go. We're away. Slightly heavier this time, obviously, because of those extra wings, but only slightly. We'll let it go a little bit higher before we turn this time, because although we had to do the turn very slowly, when we dumped off the last of the asparagus engines, we didn't really have a lot of oomph, so we started to nosedive quite quickly. So we'll let this go up vertically a bit further, I think, maybe to about, I don't know, 2,500 to 3,000 meters, maybe a bit more, I don't know. We'll let it get up to like 200 meters a second, something like that first. There goes the first stage. That's away safely. And obviously our acceleration slows considerably at that point. Yeah, 3,000 is not going to be enough either, is it? We'll do a slight bit. Whoa! Yeah, come back, please. There we go. Right, do a slight bit of turn, which that wasn't. Wow, this thing's wobbling all over the place. So we've got a little bit of a turn on. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Try and keep us relatively vertical though. And now start to turn us a bit slower at 7,000 meters, so that we are still quite vertical when these engines drop off and we lose our thrust to weight ratio, which will be about now. There we go. Off they go. We are just about still accelerating. So there we go. Hopefully this will be sufficient. And now we've got the wings to stabilise it so that we can compensate a bit if we need to. Let's have a look at where our APO is at the moment. Only at 17,000. So yeah, we need to be going straight up really for longer. Here we are at 17,000. $23,000 APO. So we can start to come back right the way down to 45 degrees now. I think we are about safe. Our speed is accelerating a bit more dependably, I suppose, is the phrase I'm looking for there. Let's try and correct our trajectory just slightly. Those stages recovering nicely, which is good. Let's try and hold our trajectory here for a bit. Let's clear those out of the way. How's the Apo doing? 32, 33, that's not too bad. $37. I think we are going to be okay. $36. Apo is at 43. Yeah, we're going okay now. So. $47. Actually, it's still a little bit low, isn't it? But we are going to be okay. We are going to get to orbit okay. Just kind of going about it the long way. Let's do it from this view now, I think. Oh, hey there, Samori. Welcome, welcome. Didn't see you there. $58. $61. So we're going to push that to the usual kind of 80-ish. There we go, 91. That'll do. Used a lot of the fuel though. A lot more than I wanted to. Mind you, we're almost in orbit already, so that's not gone too bad. We're about to go into space. We are about to spacify. Are we on the dark side of the planet here? I think we are, aren't we? Yeah, because it was nighttime. It was a nighttime launch. Okay. But it will be daytime by the time we get to the Apo, which is good. Just about to do the switch into space. Oh, look, there we go. It is daytime. So we can start doing a little bit of experimenting, actually, with what kind of science we can pick up from here. If we log this imaging data, is there anything from here? Oh, we're not in space yet. Okay. Let's open that. Get the telescope shutter open. There we go. Nothing there then. Right, okay, so we've already got all that. So let's toggle that closed again for a bit. And we'll toggle that closed for a bit. Close that. I've just thought of something that we've forgotten. The orbit... No, position of satellites wanted a thermometer, I believe. Yes, it does. We didn't bring a thermometer. That was stupid. So, we aren't going to be doing the synchronous satellite contract in this launch. That was a bit dumb. We can do the others. Let's get ourselves into orbit first, though. One. Close enough. There we go. Okay, so we're in orbit. Let's get... Where is Minmus at the moment? Let's set Minmus as our target. And work out... Ooh, we might actually be in the right place for that burn already, thinking about it. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Whoa, that's not it. Yeah, we need to correct anyway, don't we? So let's go for descending node. Whoa, there was something there. There is an encounter with Minmus. Even without fully correcting the descending node. With a periapsis of 853, that's not bad. And that's not far away either. So let's get pointing at the target on that. 32-second burn, we should have the fuel for that. There we go. Have we got the fuel for that? Yeah, we got the fuel for that. If not, we'll just use the stuff on the probe, because we've got plenty of fuel on the probe. So, there we go. We're at target. We need a 32-second burn, so that's going to be T-minus 16 seconds that we need to actually burn. So let's time accelerate round to somewhere near there. Okay, make sure we are right on target. There we go. And we are ready to burn. Hopefully the SES can hold us there. And here we go. Now. Apoapsis is heading out. Halfway through, 16 seconds left. Yeah, plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel, I think. I hope. Ooh! Missed it by a smidge. Right. That's okay though, we can deal with that. Ooh, come back, come back. There we go, there is our target burn. How much fuel we got left? Wow, still some fuel left in that. So let's speed up time and head to Minmus. What would be nice if we can if we can use that fuel to actually get us into orbit. Here comes Minmus. We are in the influence of Minmus. Let's head to the periapsis. And as we head to the periapsis, let's get ourselves pointing retrograde. It's going to be quite a burn to get us into orbit, actually. What I'm thinking I will try and do is get us into get us into orbit, and continue burning if I can, so that the engine will actually crash into Minmus. And then we won't be leaving any debris, which would be nice. Okay, here's the periapsis. Burning retrograde. How long's the fuel last? Gets us into orbit. And there's still some left. Let's continue with that plan then. There we go. Completed some contracts there. So now there is still some fuel in that, but we do not need it. So we are going to dump off that engine. There it goes. And then get ourselves point in prograde. Hey there, Brandon Chan. Welcome, welcome. There we go. Get ourselves point in prograde. Oh, we need to activate the engines. Probably a good idea. There we go. And then we will burn so that we are not going to actually collide with the mint green pearl. And there we go. So that is debris free, because that is most definitely going to blow up on impact, because it's going to be travelling rather fast. So, contract complete. A stable orbit has been achieved. Mission Control is still debating the best way to get you back home. You packed a toothbrush, right? Well, it's a probe. What does he need a toothbrush for? 88,136 funds, 6 science, and 15 reputation for that. And the recent accomplishments of our space program have attracted contributions from numerous organisations. We have entered an orbit of Minmus for 27,840 funds, 2 science and 4 reputation, and we have entered into suborbital spaceflight above Minmus, 29,000 funds, 2 science and 4 reputation for that too. So lots of funds, some science and some reputation. Nice. Now, we can't do that contract because we forgot to bring a thermometer. So that was foolish. However, we can do these others. So let's get this open. Ta-da! Material study from low orbit. So the material study is low orbit. We need an orbital telescope from high orbit. So let's toggle the shutter. Let's make this a bit realistic and turn it around so that it can actually see the planet. Because, you know. There we go. So let's log the visual observations. Minty, gelatinous, sweet. Must get closer. 15 science and 100% recovery on transmit. So we're going to transmit that. And there goes our little dish. Sending that off for us. Lovely. That is one of those done. Now, the other 2 of those are both in low orbit. So we'll do those in a moment. Orbital telescope observation. So we've done that one as well. Okay. Any of these in high orbit? Mystery goo observation in high orbit. Oh, did we need a mystery goo on that one? Nope, we didn't. We're okay. Mystery goo observation in high orbit. Observe that goo. You feel like eating the goo. I don't feel like eating the goo. 25 science, only 7.5 if we transmit. We're going to have to transmit though, because this thing's not going home. This thing could go home. This thing could go home. But I didn't fit any kind of... I didn't fit any heat shields or anything like that. No, we're going to transmit, because that's the safest thing to do. It at least helps us complete the contract. There we go. So, the rest of it is from a low orbit. I believe... I mean, our periapsis is 11,000. I think that qualifies as a low orbit around Minmus. So we need either a magnetometer or a multispectral. Well, multispectral we can do... Oh, excuse me. Multispectral we can do high and low orbit. We might as well do one here. There we go. Minmus presents a surprisingly varied UV and IR spectra. 20 science for that and 100% transmit value. That's going off. Lovely. Already done that one. Let's get a probe report from here. And telemetry indicates that all systems are functioning nominally. 2.5 science, 100% transmit value. Let's wait for that to go in and then transmit, and it comes back out again. Lovely, lovely. Thank you very much. That's done. Materials bay we need to save. Okay, so now we can speed up time, and let's go for a low orbit. Hopefully. I'm fairly sure this qualifies as a low orbit. There we go. So, going to be travelling quite fast. Oh, 214 metres a second. That's not as fast as I thought it was. But from here, we need a materials bay for this one. So, material study. Observe the materials bay. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would have been fun to paint the rocket with this. 100 science if we recovered this. Only 35 for transmitting. So unfortunately we are only going to get the 35. But there we go. That's off, and that will be that contract complete in a moment. There we go. That contract is complete. And all we actually need now is the multispectral imaging, and we send that off, and that will be that complete. Visible light and IR scans of this region reveal terrain unsuitable for landing. Fair enough. 32 science for transmitting that, so let's do that. Lots of science for that. Off that goes. We can also get telescope from here for another 24 science. This area doesn't look quite so appealingly minty. Fair enough. Transmits. And a probe report from here. While near Minmus, the temperature indicates that all systems are functioning nominally again. Another 4 science for that one. Let's wait for the dish to come back in. Transmits. Still within the view of the sun, aren't we, and everything, yeah. So, this is a real science gathering mission. Shame we didn't bring the thermometer with us. That was a real stupid oversight. But there we go. That's 3 of the 4 contracts completed in one mission. And we know that we can do it again if we need a further satellite sent to Minmus, which of course we are going to need. Shall we let's get this into a tighter orbit, shall we? .87's okay. We should be okay getting over the mountains and things at 8.7. There we go. So we now actually have a satellite orbiting Minmus, which we can use for telescope and multispectral imaging and probe reports and things like that, as and when we need them. So there we go. Quite a handy little satellite to have hanging around, actually. So let's have a look at how we've done with these contracts, shall we? Conduct an orbital survey of Minmus. Mystery goo. Complete. 6,891 funds. 6 science. And that was a complete sign floating by, which is a bit strange. There it goes. World's first. Recent accomplishments of our space program have attracted... We've gathered the first scientific data from Minmus. There we go. 13,000 funds, 1 science, 2 reputation for that. Orbital telescope from high orbit, 5408 and 3 science. And the same again. Oh, from the other contract, because that one actually completed 2 contract parts, 5644 and 4 science. There it is again. Look, discard. Discard. It floats by. Material study from low orbit, 6790 and 20 science for that one. That's pretty good. Completed a survey of Minmus. Well done. 46,778 funds and 3 reputation. Multispectral analysis, 8,400 funds and 8 science. And the other survey is complete. 100,000 funds and 5 reputation. My goodness, we're rich beyond our wildest dreams, kind of. Let's see if we have drifted over any other biome. Oh look, Minmus Midlands. We have. Transmit. And while that's transmitting, let's log the observations of the Minmus Midlands for another 24 science. Goodness me, science everywhere. I did hit transmit on that a bit too early, actually, didn't I? Let's try that again. Transmit. Excuse me. We can't get other probe reports from... no, from the biomes we can't. Okay, but there we go. Lots and lots of science, and plenty more available for us to get as well. Make sure we leave those pointing at the sun. There we go, Kerbin in the distance there. About to eclipse the sun slightly, but not very much because it's not big enough. So there we go. That was a very, very successful launch, save for the fact that we forgot the thermometer. But you live and learn. You live and learn. Loads of fuel left in this thing. It probably can come home at some point, but we're going to leave it drifting around Minmus for the moment because there are other biomes that we might be able to use these parts on. So let's head back to the Space Centre and see the final results of that, the impact that that's had on our funds and on our science. Have we broken 1 million? No, not quite, but we're close. 923,998 funds, 287.2 science and reputation on that scale thing, which is never really very helpful. It looks like it's more than 25%, less than 50%, I don't know, 35% maybe. No, it's not even that high. 30%, I think. 30% reputation, which is all right, you know. So nearly 1 million funds we have now, and we can unlock something in the R&D area because we have over 160 science. Can't afford these yet. They're 300. We could save for them if we really wanted them. I mean, that's got the gravioli, is it? Oh no, the seismic accelerometer. New antennas, new life support things, new probes, science tech, infrared telescope, core drill, greenhouse container, surface scanning module, and the survey scanner. Some hefty science gathering equipment there. Do we go for the science equipment? Do we wait and save up for the science gathering equipment? Field study. I think if we were gonna save up for a 300, it would have to be that science tech one, because that's some juicy science points waiting to be had there. Alternatively, if we want to spend it on a 160, let's see, we've got the folding solar panels, which we do kind of want. Let's see, specialised control. This is SAS and things like that, not too worried about that at the moment. More parachutes and landing legs. I'm going to need them soon, but I think we're okay for the moment. Advanced aerodynamics is wings and engines and planes and cargo bays and things like that. Can do without those for a little while. Supersonic flight is cockpits and noses and engines for planes. Again, can do without those for a bit. Actuators. The grabbing unit might be handy to have. And the asteroid sounding experiment excuse me, might be good to play around with. Have we already got the docking ports? We have, haven't we? Yeah. Advanced fuel systems is more RCS fuel. The mainsail would be nice to have as well. I think we're probably going to be best waiting for the 300 science and spending it on science tech. Because that is going to be... that's going to lead to a lot more science. Yeah, I think that's the sensible thing to do. We might actually be able to do that now if we can get that probe to drift over another biome. Where's Minmus gone? There we go. What is that flying around? Oh, that's still the relay one, isn't it? Thank you very much, Samori. Thank you very much. Oh, lots of temperature scans and things around Minmus waiting to be done there, which we'll be able to do if we do actually launch one with a thermometer on it. What way around is that going? It's going around this way, isn't it? Why can't I speed up time? There we go. Let's see. Midlands. This is all going to be Midlands, isn't it? Ah, we're going to go over the ice plains. So let's slow down time there, and we will fly the Minnie Mouse. And let's get some science points from here. The Mighty Minnie Mouse 2, which hopefully doesn't have full electric charge at this point, which is interesting. Greater Flats. So, log the imaging data. Ah, we're in space high. Okay. Not what I wanted. That doesn't count as low. Okay, so we're going to need to speed up time and head to the Perry. And burn the Apo in a bit, so that we are in space low above Kerbin. Above Minmus, sorry, not Kerbin. Nine 9,000 and 8,500. Oh, however, we are over a different biome now. These are not the greater flats, but they are the lesser flats. So let's log that imaging data for 32 science. The UV and IR spectra from Minmus surface shows sharp transitions from the flatlands to the more mountainous terrain. Keep data. That's because it's frozen water. Orbital telescope, log it. These frozen flatlands seem a bit lesser than all of the others. Hence, they are called the lesser flats. Yeah, definitely no other science we can get from there. But that's those two. So we can transmit those. Transmit data. Excuse me. Data transmitted. That mountain's rather close, isn't it? We're going to be okay, but it is kind of worryingly close. And we're not at Perry yet. So it looks like we're miles above it there. Doesn't look like we're quite so many miles above it from here, but there we go. What's that down there? Is that just a texture join? Or is that something secret that we are flying past? No, I think that's just a texture join. So there we go. That's that science sent home. We can go back to the Space Center. And that should give us the 300 that we need to unlock more science gathering equipment that we can stick on another probe and send to, well, we can send to orbit, we can send it to Minmus, we can send it to Kerbin, we can send it anywhere we want. There we go, 343 science we have. Science tech we want, science tech we have. Which will lead to advanced science tech, but we can't use that yet. Apparently a self-destruct is advanced science technology. We won't be able to unlock those without upgrading the Research and Development Centre. But there we go, we now have access to the Sentinel infrared telescope, which uses infrared light to detect celestial bodies such as asteroids that may pose a risk to Kerbin. We have the Exo Kerbal core drill. It's designed to collect subsurface core samples to search for signs of biological activity on atmospheric planets. 3 drill core samples can be stored in the incubation chamber for return. Check drill animator orientation with the preview in the VAB SPH. Okay. The greenhouse container, a small greenhouse that can grow food from waste and organics. It also produces some oxygen as a byproduct. So that's for a space station or a long-range craft. Surface scanning module, a small module that includes soil, atmospheric and oceanic sampling tools. When used while landed on a planet or moon, the sample data gathered can be used to increase the accuracy of orbital survey scanners. Interesting, okay. So it's a surface scanning module that works in conjunction with the M700 survey scanner. The orbital survey scanner uses a combination of advanced sensor technology and witchcraft to provide information on a planet or moon's natural resources. These images can be viewed either in flight or in relative safety and comfort back at the KSC. Be sure to bring an antenna capable of transmitting the information back and sufficient power. So that means that we can start doing survey scanning satellites, 3 S's, which we can use to scan Kerbin, the moon and Minmus, ready for possible drilling expeditions, which we can't do just yet because we haven't got access to the drill as yet, but we might have access to a drill soon-ish. Emphasis on the ish, because I think that's the next stage up, isn't it? The drill. Yeah, there's nothing here. I think the drill is... Where is it? It's one of these? No. No. Where's it gone? Advanced unmanned tech, ion propulsion. Oh, well, there you go. There's the Drillomatic and the Drillomatic Junior. So they are our drilling units. So we can't unlock those without upgrading the R&D building, but we can get the scanning in the process of being scanned. So there we go. Very, very successful mission to Minmus. Now, is there anything that we want to upgrade here? Strategies. We haven't looked at any strategies. That's going to be 1,600,000, so we can't do that. We don't need to do that at the moment. That doesn't give us anything much useful. Unknown object tracking would be nice, but we don't really need it at this point. Maybe... Do we want to upgrade... Unlimited size, unlimited weight. This is the one that limits our parts and action groups, so we don't need to upgrade that. I wonder if maybe we should be upgrading the launch pad to the full level 3 launch pad. The birds have all just gone to sleep by the sounds of things. I mean, we can afford to do that. We can afford to do that as well. Maybe we should have a look at some strategies. I think we'll do that next week, maybe. 150, 282 would be 400 and something thousand, which is quite a lot of the funds that we've got there. They're offering us missions for Duna now. Got another one available for Minmus. Splashdown, in-flight over. Satellite around the moon's good for funds. Satellite around Kerbin's usually good for funds. Plant a flag on the moon is good for funds. A new orbital station around Kerbin. Have facility for supporting at least 5 Kerbals. Okay. So there's plenty of things for us to look at next week. The advances are not fantastic on those. Temperature surveys of Minmus is pretty good. Just the command pod splash down. That's some easy funds, but we need to get it somewhere where it would be splashed down. Test that in flight. a VTOL engine in flight. That's a tricky one. Oh, it doesn't say a height though or anything like that. It just says in flight, so that's not too bad. So some fairly straightforward contracts that we can take on, and they give us a fairly decent advance. Ferry for tourists. Yeah, I've tried one of those. We didn't do very well on that one. Lots and lots of funds on offer for the ferry there, but let's see. Fly by Minmus, orbit Kerbin, fly by the moon, orbit Kerbin, suborbital spaceflight on Kerbin, fly by the moon, fly by Minmus, orbit. Actually, that's not too tricky. Orbit the moon and orbit Minmus is basically the targets for those, because all the rest of it would come automatically doing those. So orbit moon and orbit Minmus, we could probably do that. And that's a huge amount of funds. No advance on that though, actually. No advance whatsoever on that, so I'm not sure that we would want to do that just yet. Lots being offered for exploring and flying past Duna, which is something that we could be looking at pretty soon. Lots of interesting stuff coming up by the looks of things. However, I am going to keep this this stream short this week. As I say, I have plans early in the morning, so I'm going to be up early. So I think we're going to leave the stream there, and I will consider whether or not we want to be upgrading the launch pad or the whatever this one's called over here, the administration building, ready for next week's stream, based on what missions we accept, what contracts we accept, to see kind of how much funds we have left, so that we don't leave ourselves short, because I've made that mistake in the past. I've spent the money on upgrades and then we've not actually had the money to do the missions. I suppose one thing we could improve is the spaceplane hangar as well. There's a lot that needs improving, and we have some funds, so we might be looking at this being the time for us to do those improvements, but we're going to have a look at that next week. So that's going to be about it for this week. It is a short one, but we have had a very successful mission to Minmus, so it wasn't a complete waste. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this cut down stream for this week. If you have enjoyed it, then don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications next time we go live and when we upload new videos to YouTube. You can also support us over at streamtip.com/t/lbristow or patreon.com/Ellitopia if you want to give us some more direct support. And in thanks for that, any contributions that you can give over $1 will get your own Kerbal added to our game with a name of your choice. Contributions over $10 will let you add your own flag and name your own craft, mission and landing site in this series as well. So thank you, everybody. I've been Bristow. You've been watching Ellitopia Gaming, and this has been KSP Live. And I will see you next time. See you later, guys.